Okay, this is a 2013 Road Glide Custom, and I'm getting ready to put in LED headlights. I've already done a little bit of the work, not a whole lot, 10 minutes at the most. Took out the 5 bolts here, removed the windscreen, and next thing I did was used a 1/2-inch wrench on the inside here, up in behind here, to remove the one nut and the one bolt that hold the blinker on both sides. And finally I removed, what is it, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the other side, the 3 Torx drive screws from the fairing there, and so now this is ready to drop back. And when you do, you want to make sure you have something on the fender here to catch it, and then you're just going to simply pull the 2 headlight plugs out. So we got to take out the plastic ring that goes around the lenses there. You can see the tabs 2, 3, and 4 that I'm going to disengage to remove it. Wedge this in here a little bit and help get these top ones over the edge. Pop it in there to help get that lip off of there. Both sides here, and the bottom ones came out pretty easy. Now it should pop right out. Now it's going to be a matter of getting these green tabs in. Oh, that's pretty easy. Just squeezing them with my fingers. Okay, so this is the bracket that's going to fit on here. And we got to clean that. It's actually going to go on this way, so the sticky side's down. So we got a 50-50 mix of isopropyl alcohol and water, distilled water. Just work this down with to make sure that it's going to stick to it. Considering it's got road grime and everything on it, it's probably a pretty good idea to get it good and clean. I guess I'll point out at this time that the drawing on for the assembly made it look very much like, in this picture, like there is a ridge that runs on the bracket right across here, right there below the clip point, but above these 3 holes. There's that line, and it looks like the ridge comes up. And when you go to fit the bracket on the fairing, in order to have that ridge, the ramp up on it go from low here to high here, which is what it looks like in the drawing, you would have to flip it over. And of course that wouldn't work because the tape is attached to the other side. So I went ahead and put it on here the way that it is after looking at it in some videos, and the best I could tell, this is the right way. The other part of this that makes you believe that the drawing is wrong is, notice right here, these holes which are punched through. They're punched through on the non-sticker side, and they create a flange that protrudes on the side that had the sticker, the side that is adhered to the back of the fairing before I put this clamp on. When you look at the drawing, one more time, that you look at that clamp when it's installed, so assuming that that's sticky side already on the inside surface of the fairing, those protrusions are coming inside the fairing to where it looks like they were punched from the nose of the fairing, or the outside surface of the fairing. And again, that's backwards from the way that it is on there now, based on where the tape was. I have. Okay, now we peel off the backing. Get ready to place this on here even. Okay, line up the L bracket here. That's where the fairing's going to rest on the frame. It says to press it for a minute. And then drill these two holes here, using this as a guide. Deburr the front. And then this should go right through into the front. And take the two lock nuts supplied. Put those on there. And then tighten them with a wrench. Just compare them, even though they're a different type of light than the stock ones. The adjustments look or look identical, even though the ones on the LED lights have longer adjusting screws. They appear to be, at a glance, that the plastic clip on the old one here is just about as high up as on the new one here. And in the odd man out position back there, that low clip there appears to be low on the old one. So I'm just going to stand them up, get them about as straight up as I can get them. A couple of them here, and just take a couple measurements and see. Essentially, you can see right here, if it'll focus for you, that's about 1.2 inches from the plastic flange that it bolts to. And assuming all things are equal and that this flange is the same, which looks the same, this one, if it'll focus for you, is about 0.107 or so. We'll call it 1/8 of an inch. The rear one, I went down to the bottom of the plastic here because it's a little into the bottom of the, hard to see here, but in the bottom of the flange here, so I had a good surface to go to, and I did the same thing. I went to the top of them from the other side, so a little easier to see. Those appear to be adjusted equally. So what that tells me, with this one being the one that mounts in the top of the bike, and the bottom two being in the bottom like that, is that they are further in to the bike, which means it rotates them down. They're 1/8 of an inch further in, so the headlights are rotated down more than the stock ones. Okay, it's been 3 days. 72-hour curing period, if you will, for the 3M tape on the back of the brackets. And now it's time to go ahead and put this thing back together. There's a really good video on YouTube that talks about how to do it on a 2011 and PGN Agency 2011 fairing replacement. So if you want to look at that, I'm not going to go into that much detail. Suffice it to say that, and they show up much better on his, these hooks here and here are what the fairing is going to hang on. Those brackets with the little L cutouts are going to set over the tops of these. And then it also references the orange and white pigtail here, and then the black one. The red thing actually was on the orange one, so I just switched it over to the black one. Unlike the instructions that tell you to go ahead and install the headlights in the fairing and then put it together, I am going to make this a first attempt in accordance with that video that I recommended, PGN Agency, where you first mount it on there and then put the headlights in. So we'll see how it works. Okay, so here's the pigtail that I'm going to install. So I'll just clip these on here along with the orange wire to the two headlight connectors, and then this I'll make sure is stashed back here ready to go. There's also a sleeve that it tells you to put on the left one to ensure that it doesn't rest against the back of the headlamp. So I'm going to put it on, I believe the left one, when I trial fit it was the one with the sticker, at least in my application. So I'll put it on there and zip tie it on. The heat sleeve is, I actually doubled it over and rolled it in half because at full length it was a little too long. So I put this on here like that, you can see it comes down to this, you know, fits the length of that one. Since these are joined together right here, it won't slide up any further, and I can put a zip tie here and put a zip tie here. It will compress down, and I believe that's what it's going for. So it looks like that'll adequately shield it. Away we go here. So you can see the L-shaped cutouts referenced in the video here and here. Okay, so pulled back off. I was able to get them to clip in this time, but what I had to do was the bottom ones obviously were real easy. They were clipping in. Wasn't being able to get the top ones, and so what I had to do was take a screwdriver and just kind of apply some pressure to the fairing on the outsides of this here, so that it would allow it to, those green tabs to click out. So good to go now. Now we're just going to try the blind hang on top of the on those hooks. Covers are still in place. Attach the connectors. All still good to go. Going to be a little harder to get them out of the way doing it blindly for sure. So I will try to low the video, keeping the wires out of the way of the hooks. Still got their orange. side, just like the video said. You look pretty good. Feels pretty solid on there. So I think we're good. Make sure these cables here are free to move up and down. They're not caught between there. If it was on this side. Good to go. Now we're ready to start putting some screws. Put a little bit of Loctite on here. Just a little bit on the threads. I think I got it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that a little bit loose there, just like the screws in the fairing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I've gotten both of these loosely fastened left and right. Going around and checked my gaps and retightened the 6 bolts there, just kind of snugged them down. And all of my grommets are here ready for the windshield. So all that remains is to tighten my 1/2-inch wrench, the turn signals. Okay. Okay, so this should be firmly mounted now. Time for the beauty ring. 4 plastic tabs. Should hear the 4 clicks. Grommets in the fairing, while you had it off, or before you put it on to this point, you might want to, well, you can see behind them, make sure that you've got them elongated again, because they have kind of a squish, a squat type screw down when you tighten them. So while you have the fairing off, be a good time to insert a screw from the back side of them and pull them back out to extend them if you need to. Moment of truth, what we've all been waiting for. That completes the installation of the LED lights on the Harley Road Glide. This is not an approved Harley solution. Can't recommend that you do this yourself. I just have always done all my own work and am willing to take anything on. That doesn't mean that it ever sometimes doesn't come without a price, and so you got to be willing to accept that price, which is any damages or anything like that you do are your own responsibility and not that of Harley or me or any of the other videos I've referenced. So if you decide to go at your own, good luck to you and happy riding.